Hello everyone, it's Nanny Moo Moo on another trip out, this time in Surrey, in Milford, at St. John the Evangelist Church. You might be able to see the church behind me. The church is a 19th century church, but it has some wonderful examples of stained windows associated with William Morris. So I was keen to come and see those windows and look inside to see what other features there might be. St. Luke's is a church which Papa Dunk and I pass quite regularly, so it's interesting to take some time to explore the church, which might otherwise be overlooked.
Before going into the church, I'm going to take a wander around the graveyard and have a look at some of the inscriptions on the headstones. Here is an interesting mausoleum, which we'll take a closer look at later. Here is the headstone of Charles Wellcome Cole, Jane Cole and another Charles Cole. On first glance, this headstone looks relatively new, but it marks the resting place of Richard Greville, 1864, and Sabine, his wife, 1882. This is the Webb family mausoleum. It incorporates Egyptian-inspired features on top of a Christian cross-shaped plot. Philip Barker Webb was a botanist who lived in Milford House, not that far away from the church. Maybe fittingly, the mausoleum is quite overgrown. First as a chapel of ease, St. John's was built in and around 1837, with additions in the 1850s and the 1860s. I'm loving these kneelers. Uniform, yet at the same time quite unique. A list of the curates and vicars dating back to 1852. A lovely octagonal font, the 8 sides being symbolic of new creation associated with the sacrament of baptism. A rather fine set of organ pipes. The chancel is quite welcoming, and unlike some churches, the walls are relatively free of plaques and the like. A wonderful stained glass window with St. Nicholas to the left and St. Gabriel to the right. Looking from the chancel onto the nave. On the south side of the church are some lovely windows looking out onto the churchyard. And now to the stained glass windows, which have an arts and crafts feel to them. Being a 19th century church, the stained glass windows do not have much age to them. Nonetheless, one cannot but admire the craftsmanship. The next two stained glass windows are attributed to Merton Abbey, London, 1898, by Morris, Marshall, Faulkner and Co. and Burne-Jones. St. Barbara on the left is the patron saint of gunsmiths and artillerymen. St. Dorothea on the right was executed as she refused to worship idols. The eagle lectern symbolizes spreading the word of God across the world. The eagle is also the emblem of St. John the Evangelist. Taking a look at the war memorial, the inscription at the top of the plinth reads, "In grateful memory of the men of Milford who gave their lives in the Great War 1914-1918, followed by 45 names of those who fell in World War II.
I really enjoyed my visit to St. John in Milford. It was quite sweet. The local school next door to the church was having its sports day, and there was a lot of cheering and encouragement for the children who were taking part. As I said, one of the reasons that I visited St. John's is that we pass it regularly. It's near the roundabout at Milford. And I was particularly impressed by the stained glass windows. It's a really nicely kept church, and I'm sure those who come to worship at St. John's are really proud of it. So, from Nanny Moo Moo, without Papa Dunk, it's bye for now. It's bye for now.